Dun, 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 dun.
And we're recording on a Friday at
Yes.
7:49.
This is Dave,
This is Reese.
and this is Manic Joy, a podcast about
Life
love
and
uncertainty.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
We did not practice that, by the way.
No, that was impromptu.
I know you're pretty surprised by how delicious that was.
Yes, it was like this drink. Happy
So I made
Friday.
Happy Friday to you. I made earlier for us. I made Guinness and cider, which I believe I'll have to look this up. It's called the Black Velvet or a Snake Bite. There's two different names. There's a Snake Bite or a Black Velvet. I think maybe it's a Snake Bite. I don't know. There's
Either
always
way.
either way, it was good.
It's good. We haven't had that in a while.
A long time.
yeah,
But because we
nice.
were listening to what we're going to talk about here today is, sorry for those of you who aren't U2 fans, but for those of you who are, you're in for a treat.
It's a big night for you.
So I woke up this morning
Feeling like
doing my business
P. Diddy.
and
I hope not. That would be bad.
I
Sorry,
hope-
it was Kesha. I cashed.
I hope not
I cashed.
too.
Yeah, no, you're
Anyway.
good. You're good.
I check my email in the morning doing my business, and there's an email from U2.com. They dropped another album, and you knew about this because you happened to be awake at 2 and 3 in the morning last
Well,
night.
because
And saw something about it.
when
I
I
saw your
fall
message after the
asleep-
fact.
when I fall asleep, like before 10 o'clock, that's like nap time. Like
Yeah.
I take a nap and then I wake up at, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, like wide awake. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to bop around on my phone a little bit and
Bop.
it
Beep, boop, beep, boop,
no
beep.
email, no nothing. All of a sudden, just I go to Instagram and it's right there. And I'm like, whoa. And what sucked is I just bought a new headband with the Bluetooth,
Yeah.
in there when I sleep, and I couldn't find it. So I couldn't listen to it.
Did
and
you
I was-
find it?
No, I think it fell behind the bed, and I
Oh,
really
well, we'll
don't
have to
feel
look-
like injuring my
we'll have
back.
we'll have to remember to
trying
look
to get
for
it.
before we get comfy.
But oh my God, I was like, and I sent it to the family Instagram thread that we have at 2:30 in the morning. I was like, everybody's sleeping. It's fine. I'm going to send this.
Yeah.
I was so jazzed. I had no
I
idea
know.
that was going to happen
I was
either.
like, what?
Listen.
Big surprise. So they dropped the first one, which we talked about a little bit
Mm,
on Ash Wednesday. This is Good Friday. Is that
Yep,
what this is
yep,
considered? Good
yep,
Friday.
Good Friday. It's
So the
best
first
Friday.
one, Days of Ash.
Mm-hmm.
This one called Easter Lily,
Mm-hmm.
another EP. So 6 songs on both of these so far. And complete surprise. They did it again.
Yep.
Just surprised everybody.
Just, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
always
even
here for it.
realize that it was going to be a continual.
Well,
event.
That's the surprise
Yeah.
element of this whole
Yeah.
thing. And so
I'm loving our favorite bands doing these surprise things,
Oh,
like
yeah.
with the
so we should
Weezer.
probably mention. I have to say I'm a little disappointed in the Weezer thing.
You don't like it?
No, I don't mind it.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm disappointed out is like the album is not coming out for a while.
I know.
That feels like too much. Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? I think they're gonna trickle out the songs,
I guess so. But
and then eventually, because also they are like masters of marketing. They are
Mhm.
really good at like building up the excitement to stuff. U2 used to kind of be like that. Now they just kind of like throw shit at you. I'm like,
what I appreciate about them just kind of doing these,
and I'm not saying
EPs
it's a bad
No,
thing.
well, what I appreciate about it, and we're going to get into the album, this newest one. But what I appreciate about what they're doing now is that they are just releasing these things, because I think what they've fallen victim to, particularly in the later years, I think is overproduction and just like doing too much.
Yeah.
Where I actually find a lot of times like the B-sides or the songs that they just kind of release on the side, like think of like Ordinary Love, for example, or what was the other one? Invisible, right? Like all those little songs they do as like side projects almost. they're so good because they just do them, and there's
Lady
all
with
this
the
pressure.
Spinning Head, was that also?
That was a B-side.
That's one of my favorites, and
Yeah.
it doesn't get enough.
Yeah. So it's
love
like it's stuff
for
like
it.
that I'm like, I like the impromptu-ness because they are a really good band, but I think they get too into the production of it that they overproduce it sometimes, and it loses something.
So I took some notes as we were listening to it, and one of the things that I noticed, especially about this one, it's very much stripped down, low key, and I think they are, because they're older, and I think they are just doing things when they feel inspired to do things.
Well, I hope so. I like that.
I love that
Yeah.
because I hate when bands, it's like a constant, like, listen, I'm a Swiftie. I'm like level medium Swiftie.
Level medium Swiftie?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not over the top. And I appreciate when the albums come out, but she does so many.
Mhm,
And it's like, it's a lot. It's an onslaught of, like, I just got used to the last one. And then all of a sudden, here's another one. And it has 3 albums to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's too much. I feel like at this point, I honestly feel like we're blessed when we get any type of U2
Oh, yeah.
at all at this point,
Yeah.
because they could lock it down when Larry had the issues with his
Well,
hand and he couldn't
This
do
is
the
what I'm saying. I mean, like,
spear.
look, the spear. The
sphere.
Oh, it sounded like you said the spear.
No, the sphere.
So, yeah, look, I think him included was wondering if he'd ever play again. And it's great to have him back now
Right.
actually playing, which is
Right.
really cool. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I'm excited for the Weezer stuff, actually. So we got tickets for that. I'm excited for that. That's
my
going to
God.
be a good...
All the tickets. We got
Yeah.
tickets for all the things.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the next
Summer
Rest of the year.
Summer of concerts.
Yeah,
It's gonna
because
be
we
good.
got the Weezer, we got the Muse. We got Weezer, Shins,
The lineup is
and
Weezer,
Silver
the
Sun
Shins, and
Pickups.
Silver Sun Pickups.
Get
All great. I don't think I've ever seen the Shins. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I don't think
but
I've
I
seen the
like
Shins as
them as a
well.
band.
yeah.
Silver Sun Pickups are great.
Yep.
And Weezer's great.
Yep.
So that's going to be a good
Who's
rotation.
opening for Muse? Do we know?
Block Party.
Oh, Block Party.
Which also
We
fantastic.
love them.
So
We
Muse,
love them. They were
if
great.
you've ever seen Muse, or if you haven't, you should go.
I fucking love
They're an interest. I think they're like a unique sound. You got to like that stuff because they're very heavy
It's very heavy, but
and operatic.
what
too,
I
but,
love,
like,
yes, what I love about them is
it's
that
just 3 of them, and the sound that they put out is fantastic.
their lyrics and their
It's very
vibe is always very timely.
in conspiracy and government
all-
and all that stuff.
It's all my favorite stuff. So I'm super psyched. The last time we saw them was a very long time ago, and we really liked them. There was a great show.
They put on a great show. Yeah.
Who else did we get tickets for? We also got tickets for
Young the Giant.
Young the Giant and Cold War Kids, which
also Young the Giant's really a good
they
band.
are. It just
It's
pisses us
interesting.
off because Cold War Kids shouldn't be opening for them. But
I mean, listen. The problem, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The
I know,
problem
and I
with Cold War
agree.
Kids is they haven't reached that level where they figured out how to perform their songs to a big stage.
Right.
They're great in a small
like
club.
House of Blues
I
and MGM, all
absolutely
of
love
that,
their music,
they thrive.
but on the small stage, they get dwarfed.
yeah,
And
No.
like even with like the only reason we enjoyed them so much when we saw them open for Kings of Leon was because we were able to get down to the front.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why it was so much fun, because we
Yeah.
could actually see them and be right there. But if you're in the back
but they're such a great intimate
and you don't know
band.
them,
Yeah,
you're not paying
know.
attention. I'm sorry.
Well,
they
I
just
know.
they don't know how to project it enough.
it's just
So-
it's fine.
but
It's
they're
fine.
good. So I'm excited about both of those.
I'm also going to. Well, I'm seeing 2 shows without you. I'm going to see.
with or without you.
There it is.
There
Wait,
it
you
is.
should have waited for that. But
Oh.
okay. Seeing Gorillaz, which has been on my bucket list.
Mm.
I'm a huge Blur fan, so the lead singer is also
Mhm.
created Gorillaz.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. And then Emily got me for my birthday.
I know.
See, Joe.
Yeah. We were and Johnny and I were
You
both
and Johnny
like,
were bullshit.
oh, cool. Have fun.
I know. Well, because it was
Sons
a
of
whole thing
bitches.
where Emily and I were
Yeah.
driving around, and she had gotten a notice
Johnny and I
that
will figure out something to do.
I know.
We'll go to our own damn concert.
fine. You
Maybe actually
should
we'll
do
play
that.
our own concert over here. We'll
Oh,
get
you
her on
should
the
do that.
piano and
But anyway, it's going to be this. It's just such a great time right now with all the
it's the
shitty
sum- it's
stuff
the
going
summer
on
of
in the
music.
world, that there is all this great concerts and music and artful happenings
Yeah.
that I think cure and mend all the garbagey stuff that goes on
Yeah.
at this time.
Yeah.
Is all. Okay.
All right. Well, let's do
So-
this. Let's talk about this album
Mhm.
because we want to make this a quick one because I gotta go to bed. I'm like exhausted already.
Really?
And it's
7:50?
already-
Oh,
I
it's
know.
like 8
It's
o'clock.
8:00.
I feel like
By the time we're done, it'll be 8:30, and then time to get in bed.
I have to find my
Yes, we gotta find your
Mask
headband.
and
That
headband
who
thing.
knows how long that will take.
Oh my God, forever. Well,
So-
no, we'll find it right away. It's going to take me forever to crawl under the bed, get it, pull it out, hurt my neck.
We'll see what we
It's
can
going to be
do
a good
for you.
time. So,
All right. So
okay,
here's the
yes.
deal. So Easter Lily is the name of the E EP.
and we're coming upon Easter weekend. So
Right,
this Sunday
so
is Easter.
Good Friday
Today's
released.
Good Friday, right?
And
I love that it's called Easter Lily. I love that they're
well, so far everything has had a very, and they've always been this, but each album has been very specifically religiously
Yes.
toned.
yes. However, I'm going to say something controversial. And I've only listened to this album twice so far today. I like it better than Days of Ash. Because I'm
so
going to be
this is
honest,
interesting. Okay.
and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed each one of the songs because the vibe
There's a different vibe.
is very different, and it's more hopeful, and it's more
Yes.
there's the Rock U2,
A path
there's
to the light.
yes, there's Rock U2, there's political U2,
Mhm.
there's religious U2.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they all intertwine.
Mhm.
Sometimes they are rocking
Mm.
this and rocking that. They're a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Thank God they're not country. Thank God. I like this one better because I am very much into and trying to step away from it into the political world. I
Mhm.
love political discourse. I love debate. I love knowing. No, I don't love. I have to know what's going on politically in the world. It's just how I am. I need to
Mhm.
be like in tune in what's going on every spectrum. I'm not in one bubble.
You're on every spectrum. For
I'm on-
sure.
This we cannot deny. And so as much as I appreciate the political side of U2 and Bono, I'm done. I don't need that right now. But I understand like the Days of Ash. I get it. And I think that was for a separate audience. And I feel like this album, this little EP spoke to me in a
Mhm.
way that I feel I need hope. I need
Yeah.
there
so it
to be
definitely
light.
is more of that.
Yes.
So it's interesting. And maybe we'll save this to the end, but I would say, I'll just say this. Subject matter aside, some of the songs on Days of Ash, I think are better songs than the song in terms of like a song where, oh, I can sing that song. There's a chorus that I remember. Like this is my big point with kind of this one, and we'll talk about it. But
Okay.
I would say I maybe prefer Days of Ash to this one. But I've only listened to this a few times, and as with any U2 album, I do have to sit with them for quite a
Right.
few listens before I'm really like ingrained in the vibe.
Right.
So I'll preface it with that. Okay.
So I will say I did write down a lot of the lyrics.
Oh, good.
spoke to
I'll
me,
be
and I
interested-
wrote down
I'll be interested to
lyrics.
see what you wrote
Right.
down. So I only wrote down lyrics to one song because I'm picking up because again,
Well,
I'm
let's
not-
go through
right-
them.
I know that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, okay.
So 6 songs: Song for Hal, In a Life.
I keep thinking you're saying song for Hal.
Yeah.
I'm like, Hal who?
I am saying Song for Hal.
Hal.
Hal. Hal.
Hal.
That's what I said.
I thought you said how.
No. Song for Hal.
How? Go ahead. Keep going.
Welcome to our show.
Welcome to midlife. Welcome to midlife, where
What?
It's fine. Go ahead.
You're
Yep.
wearing headphones.
What?
Okay. Number 3 is Scars.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Resurrection Song. Number 5. Number
Yeah,
5.
you're doing good.
Easter
You
Parade.
need to go to bed
And number 6.
and learn how to do math.
Coexist. In parentheses, I will bless the Lord at all times. Question mark, which is interesting.
It's not. because
Anyhow.
it's in the
So
lyrics of the song.
that's the last. That's the track listing.
Mhm.
That's what I meant to say. I put them both together.
This is going to be an award-winning
So let's
episode of
let's
our.
start with song for
How.
which is a friend of the band,
Mhm.
a friend of Edge's that died during 2020, the COVID times.
Mm.
Did you hear forever? Was it playing soft and low?
What's your first reaction?
Right out the gate, my first note was it's very subtle for the first song out, but I also love that Edge gets showcased.
So I wrote that like there was definitely a very signature jangly guitar sound coming in that I loved, that I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I love this sound. I love the Edge doing this Edge thing. And then you're waiting for, okay, what's going to happen? And then when the song starts, you're like, wait a minute. That's not Bono.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Edge.
Mm-hmm.
And
we love when Edge
so
sings.
I'll say this. There's something like there's a version on the Songs of Surrender that Edge sings that is Peace on Earth that I think is heartbreaking.
Mm.
I love Edge's harmonies with Bono, and he sings like an angel.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he's not the lead singer, which is because it's like it's missing the Bono stuff that Bono has, right? But it's beautiful every once in a while. And I thought this was beautiful. There's something about his voice
I feel numb
and him.
or numb.
Ha ha ha.
No,
Oh,
numb.
I thought you were saying you feel numb.
No.
But okay.
One of my
Wasn't
favorite
a pun.
YouTube.
It was
No,
actually
it was
talking about
actually I'm
numb.
being for real.
Yeah.
One of my favorite YouTube songs is
Numb.
Numb. And I used to be infatuated with the video.
Yeah. That was
And
a
I-
good video.
And it just really connected me with Edge at that point, because YouTube is always it's Bono, but then it made me realize like Edge is really, I mean, they all four are, but Edge is really
Their harmonies together are always amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then my third note on this was that, and this is how I kind of feel on all of new U2 lately, is that too restrained on guitar. Like I love early U2. Not that what they're creating now isn't beautiful, but there's every once in a while I'm like, just go off, Edge. Give me a good, like everything is too safe, for lack of a better word, for me sometimes with him now. Like the way he used to play, even Adam. And Adam, I think, is having a renaissance. He's playing pretty well. But they were unbridled in their playing back then. And I think they've learned how to restrain themselves. But I almost think to a fault. It's kind of like that thing where, because when they started, they weren't musicians. They were just people who picked up instruments and taught themselves to play and made a sound that was theirs and unique to them, which is why I love them so much. But somewhere along the way, they've actually become really good musicians, almost to a fault, if that makes sense, where it's too clean. It's not as messy as it was back then.
Well,
and
I
they did things that they didn't know they weren't supposed to do.
I think
You know
right
what I mean?
now it is about the lyrics and about the content and less about being extravagant and experimental with the sound. I think for them now, it's like we have a message and we don't want it to be negated with people complaining that Octone Baby doesn't sound like Where the Streets Have No Name, and everybody
Yeah.
was all in
I
get their
just-
panties in a bunch about it.
I want Edge to go off, and they've been threatening of a heavy guitar. Like I want him to go off in the way of not the cheesy riffs that he's been
Right.
doing a lot lately, like the little
comfortable. They're
punk,
comfortable
the punk
and
riffs.
easy.
Like
Yeah.
I love the soundscapes that he creates, but I also love the solo in Love Is Blindness,
I
and
know.
you know, like that type of stuff. And I want in the early days of like, man, let's just going nuts.
I
where
feel
you,
like they might get there. Who knows? So
So-
we were talking today also, like, what is going to be the next installment of this? So maybe that's where that's
either
heading.
it's either the album or I wouldn't mind a third EP and
Right.
then an album. That
Right.
would be amazing.
right.
Anyway, all right. So
Okay.
that's anything else to add
That's
on
all I have
Songcraft?
on that one.
But beautiful song. I
Beautiful.
really like it.
It was fine.
But a theme I'll continue through each of these songs is I couldn't sing a lick of it to you.
Well, we just listened to it.
I know, but I've listened to it a few times. But you know how usually you'll get an earworm or something? I couldn't, I don't know. I couldn't sing anything to you. In a Life.
I'll meet you in the air. I'll meet you with the fair. On the underground, wherever you be found, I'll meet you there.
Very no line on the horizon coded.
Interesting. Interesting you say that. So I have a different view on that. It had that like kind of scratch guitar in the beginning, like but beautiful day drums. Those drums were very beautiful day, kind of sequenced drums, like kind of like
Yep.
electronic, but not really.
Yep.
It reminded me very much of Beautiful Day,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
I can see that, but it also, because now you're so you have some Edge at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're getting Bono, and I really feel that his voice is still so strong.
Yes, I think so too. I will say, so this is where, again, if you compare the two albums, I feel as though the other album, Bono is showcased much better there.
No, but I feel like in this album,
The lyrics, I don't know, the lyrics might be stronger here, but
I feel like
he's
his,
got some of it here. I can
but I
listen
feel
a little
like
more,
so. I
but yeah.
also I made a note in one of the songs, but it's in most of them. His cadence has changed dramatically on how he sings
Well, sure. Yeah.
certain lyrics, which is very different than he has in the past.
So
For
s-
me, that's what I've noticed.
So speaking of cadence, so this was one where there's sometimes like I will often hear other songs in people's songs and the cadence and the melody that Bono sings in this song reminded me of a Phantom Planet song for some
Right.
reason, and we couldn't really find it. We were listening to it after to find exactly, but I think it may have been Turn, Smile, Shift, Repeat by Phantom Planet. There's just something about it. It's just like one little phrase a couple of times in there. It's not like the whole song, but
Right.
like I'm like, ooh, that sounds like I'll get those moments. But that was when,
But
not
he-
in a negative way or anything, but
no,
I'm like,
but
oh, it
here's the
reminded
thing:
me of that.
there's nothing new. There's nothing
Oh,
new.
no. Well,
So
yeah.
everything is an influence of everything, and you're
Yeah.
gonna hear
And I love how you hear all the influences of all their music rolled up into
Right.
the songs,
Right.
which is also interesting.
right.
And also, you got to keep in mind that what are they coming up on 50 years in the business?
Yeah, I know.
So think about that. Like they've
That
been
is
doing this for 50
freaking
years. How
bananas.
can they not sound like themselves?
And it's just crazy
You know what I mean?
because a huge portion of my life from when I was
Yeah.
13
Yeah.
has been this band.
Yeah. So my third note on this, two things I wrote. So no real hook in this song. Again, one that I couldn't sing a lick of it to you. Don't remember anything about it, but I know I enjoy it when I'm listening to it.
Right.
I think this song is a little too adult contemporary for me. And I feel this song, and I also feel like the song they did with Ed Sheeran on Days of Ash kind of
but
has that sound.
You want them to be the people they were like 30 years ago.
No, I don't want them to be that. But I'm saying there's a sound. There's a sound to certain songs that I'm like, meh, that's not really the
I
song
hate
that
to
I like.
say this to you, but
I know who we are.
certain bands, once they hit a certain age, are not going to aspire to create new sound or create new things. Like they honestly,
well, if there's any band that would, it would be them.
it would be them.
So there.
But they are old, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're old.
I'm just saying that
I'm trying to remember
it's
lines
got a little bit
for
of
a
that.
play that I'm in, and my brain, and I don't have that many. You get to a certain point where you are limited in your capabilities, where it's muscle memory at this point. You're good at what you do, and you want to do stuff that is not mediocre, because I don't think this is mediocre
so
at
this
all.
is what I'm saying, though, that the adult contemporary puts it in the mediocre camp. for me.
I don't think this album is mediocre.
I'm
and
not
I think
talking
a
about
few
the
more-
album. I'm talking about this specific song and that one
Oh,
other song. I'm
okay.
saying this song here leans a little too much that way for me.
Okay. You're entitled to your opinion.
I am.
And you're wrong. No, I'm
Yep.
just kidding.
No,
Go ahead.
well, I'm sure they'll tell me online once
Mhm,
once we publish these. So
Oh, I can't wait for the
I
commentary.
know it's going to be a good one.
I'm very
It's
excited.
going to be a good one. All right, Scars was the next one.
Yeah.
You got lost, love, and you found trouble when you went looking for your life. You got some scars and some others suffer, but you keep on reaching for the lights.
So I like the song. And there's a couple that I actually like. I'm like, I
You
like
can't
this one.
break what's already been
I like
broken.
this one. Is that was one of the line?
I love it. You can't break what's already been broken.
So I love there's a driving bass in this one. I like that. It feels a little bit like this got a little older U2 for me. It has a bit of a wire sound to it, but slowed down, which I thought was really cool. If you know that song, yeah, more mellow, and the guitar sounds also harkened back to early Edge with some of the things coming out of there. So I liked that musically. I thought that was really good. I think this is a decent song.
I think so too.
I feel the vocal track is a little bit muffled, and I think that's maybe a stylistic choice.
Oh, I have to listen to it
But
again.
it seems muffled to me, and
Okay.
I didn't love that.
All right.
And then I thought there were also some signature riffs in there from Edge, which I thought were really cool that I liked. But again, couldn't sing a damn word of it.
No,
to you.
I love the lyric. I actually like the lyrics of this one, and I
Yeah.
love "You Can't Break
Yeah.
What's Already Been Broken."
No, they were good lyrics.
I'm a lyrics gal. Like, the vibe of a song, the tone of a song, the beats of a song. Like, if I don't even care about the lyrics. Like, if it's like something I can bop to, I
Yep.
like that. But I especially love when U2 gives me lyrics that I can feel and I can digest and I can connect with. And I loved and I'm also keeping in mind this is a religious album.
Mhm.
And I know that's going to piss some people off. They are very spiritual, religious, not woo-woo spiritual. Like, they believe in Jesus and God.
Mhm.
This is a religious album. And so I'm listening to this as it being almost like a revival, like a church choir album to me. So I'm not taking these lyrics and making them into my own daily relationship things. I'm taking it as like an inner soul searching, my own religion, which is not, I'm not highly religious, but we're not in that way. I mean, I'm spiritual where I believe in some things, and yeah, it's fine. But
How can you say these are songs are religious? Let's talk about the next one. Resurrection song.
I know. I might be a little off base.
Yeah.
One time we had a lot of miles ago. Roadside, the death and resurrection show. You smile, the next thing you know we die.
So this was one that I liked on the first listen. Like right away, I was like, "Oh, I like this." And this is like first listen on the toilet. Like,
Exactly the way Jesus would want it.
yep, exactly. So this had a very Unforgettable Fire vibe to me. This one.
Correct.
And I like that because Unforgettable Fire is probably one of my favorite albums because it is the transitional album for them, I think, right? Like that was an album that got them to Joshua Tree, right? Where they really matured into their sound. And so I love that. I love the heavy tom drums that were going on in the beginning. And this is one where I wrote a lyric down, which is, if I sound ridiculous, I'm not done yet.
Yep.
Perfect.
So you ready for my take on this one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I did enjoy this one. This one, I think it's tongue in cheek and very clever.
Mm-hmm.
The Death and Resurrection Show. It's one of the lyrics, the Death and Resurrection Show. Jesus was the original creator of The Prestige. So the movie The Prestige was about like when magicians or illusionists, Michael.
It's an illusion, Michael.
It's an illusion. When it's like the big showstopper, the thing that gets the audience to like wow them.
Mm-hmm.
Not only so we always say, oh, Jesus died for our sins. He, was nailed to the cross. They take him down. They put him in the tomb and they go to open the tomb and he's not there. He disappears. He's the originator of The Prestige. The song is about the showmanship of Jesus.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
I need to listen more closely.
So listen to the lyrics of it, because while you were just listening, I need to these days print up the lyrics and listen to a song. I used to do that when I was a kid. You used to get the tape and the tape had all the lyrics in it, and I would sit there and like.
Well, that's why you'll need to look. Like I said, you have to read the magazine because they talk about all the songs.
Yes,
and they have
so
the
that's
lyrics.
next.
And,
I'm in full Easter mode and
you
had to do shopping and stuff.
on your iPad.
Oh, my brand new iPad.
It flips the pages for you.
For my birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, next one. This was another one
This
I
was
liked. This is
my
probably
number one favorite song.
This is probably my favorite song.
This is my
too.
favorite song too.
Easter Parade.
Love it.
First note, very Zooropa vibe. It's got the nice build with the synth and the piano comes in, harkens to old U2 too, where they always would do the piano stuff. And then the bass line, killer, bass line sounds a little bit like the bass line from Taxman by the Beatles, which I love. And then just in the general, the song itself has a very Beatles-esque, probably the most Beatles-esque song that they have that's an original of theirs. I'm not going to say Helter Skelter because they do that and they do like Rain and they do covers of Beatles songs. But when they do their own songs, I would say probably Window in the Skies, which again, another just throwaway song, is probably the most Beatles type of song.
Coded.
From
It's
them.
Beatle coded.
Yeah, right? But this is very much Beatle coded, I would say.
I like the vibe of this a lot.
Yeah.
And the beat is... It's a
Yeah,
bop.
It's fun.
I like a
It
bop.
kind of goes, and I like when they go different places with things,
Right.
and when you're not expecting where it's going to
And
go.
I like the lyrics in this one too. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a few extra
But once again-
listens to really...
Couldn't sing it for you right now at all.
But I'm just saying it's my number one on this
So-
album so far. There is a part at the end where there's a repetition of the...
Oh yes,
How would you say it? Kyrie?
Kyrie,
Kyrie.
I think. Yeah.
It's Greek for Lord have mercy.
Oh, is it Greek?
It's Greek.
Interesting.
And it is also kind of used. I went and I did a deep dive, and it's 1985's Broken Wing, Mr. because so it's kind of like
that's beautiful.
all of that. You like that one?
Now we might not be able to publish this because they're going to copyright.
Oh, really?
It sounds just like it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so good. Like sometimes I don't realize like how good I actually am. So my apologies to Mr. on how great I did this. Okay. Anyway, so I looked it up, and in that song, especially by Mr. It serves as a musical prayer or a mantra asking for divine protection,
That sounds right.
comfort, and guidance during life's journey, often interpreted as a plea for strength to navigate difficult times,
Perfect.
which I think
Perfect is definitely what they did.
emulates in this. And that key phrase like got to
well,
me.
they chant that at the
They
end.
chanted at, and it's
very
it's
pretty.
a
I like it.
mantra. So
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
okay. Now
Anything
we can
else
move
on that
forward.
one?
No,
Okay,
we
so
can move
this last
forward,
song is called Coexist.
which is my second favorite song.
And interesting. So in parentheses, it's called I Will Bless the Lord at All Times with a question mark.
Right.
Interesting.
Am I the best or the worst or the worst or the best? She sang. Ice cream smile, wide as a mile, right there.
That's a Brian Eno
Nice. That makes sense.
atmospheric
Okay.
thing going on in there.
Because I also think this song is very Kanye coded, because there's a point where they
Interesting.
get, it almost sounds a little auto tune. And we just
Okay.
listened to the recent
So
Kanye.
okay, I could see
Bully.
Kanye in that. So okay.
That album also, give that a listen.
The new Kanye is great. Yeah.
Amazing.
So you said Kanye, I said Bon Iver.
Oh,
A vocal
interesting.
effect there
Okay.
on some of that stuff. And then it's sung, the parts that aren't the vocal effecty, very Lou Reed, Walk on the Wild Side style.
Okay. I could see that.
But what I love about that actually is at the end of the song, everything stops and it's a
Bono's
solo
voice.
vocal, clean, just Bono. That'll give you his voice sounds great.
The
on that.
last a cappella moment,
Yeah.
heart Bono's voice.
Yeah.
Is my note.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think the song is about loving a God, even though bad things may happen, which gives you,
That
I will
sounds
bless
great.
the Lord at all times, because we were not put here to be blessed all the time. Jesus died for our sins. because we are sinners here and we have free will and we can decide whether or not we want to do the right thing or the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what we do, bad things are still going to happen. And it's up to us how we deal with those situations. We can't change things that are out of our control.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we make a bad decision. Sometimes we make a good decision and bad things happen. But there are people that, and I think you too, Bono especially, still have faith and belief
Mm-hmm.
that when you listen to the lyrics of the song, I will bless the Lord at all times, meaning I'm still going to praise Jesus. I'm still going to think that God is number one, that God is looking out for me, that even though there are troubled times, scary times, bad things happen to us,
Hopeful.
you have to remain hopeful.
Mm-hmm. You got to have faith.
You got to have, and you got to coexist.
Because you got to have. Now we'll never get this.
I clapped it. I clapped it instead of singing it
I know,
beautifully,
but you
so
heard,
we don't
you
get
heard what
sued.
you heard what I did, didn't you? The vocal stylings. All right, so here's my overall assessment.
All right,
You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm happy to have it.
Yep,
I need to listen to it more,
yep.
but on the few listens that I've had, nothing really memorable or earwormy that I'm like, oh,
Yet
I could sing. Yet, exactly. Yet.
I feel like we have to sit with it
And so,
for a little bit.
But from that standpoint, I think Days of Ash is stronger because I could sing some of those songs to you.
And I
like,
feel it's
the Tears of
purposeful.
Things is
It's
fabulous.
he's done it. That is purposeful because that is meant for an audience for their political side.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because they want the people to have the earworm
That's
and
a
sing the
fair.
thing.
That's a fair.
I feel like
assessment.
this is a spiritual album for you to reflect, and it's inner and it's for your soul, and it's not meant for.
You know what? It has a little bit more of that.
That's why I need
Yeah,
this.
well,
I don't need that.
Yeah, I hear
Although
you.
I appreciated it.
I hear you.
I need this. I'm looking forward to sitting down on Easter with our children, eating our ham, very excited, and our deviled eggs that we're making, and listening to this album and seeing their reaction to it and talking about it. Because I think we also take Easter for granted. It is really the high holiest of the Catholic holidays. Everybody thinks Christmas is. It's Easter because it's a time of reflection. And just really quick, the Easter lily. It symbolizes purity, rebirth, hope, and the resurrection of Jesus in the Christian tradition, often called white-robed apostles of hope, the flower, which I think they are very beautiful. Fun fact, they are deadly to pets and cats especially, who
Cool.
like to eat that shit, so that would not be good. But their white color represents innocence, while the trumpet-shaped bloom symbolizes the message of Christ rising. They also represent new life and renewal. And that is something that I can definitely get behind, especially in the age of AI and where we're going and where I'm in the analog thinking mode of trying not to get too caught up in the intricacies of what is going to be the future in technology, which
Yeah.
kind of freaks me out a little.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose the analog experience of communication and handwriting and all of these great things that make us who we are.
Yeah.
And I love the idea that this album is about that, about rebirth and renaissance. And
The fact that what you were saying, how one was more geared towards, more mainstream and one is more geared toward the introspective and whatever, I can see that very much. And this to me felt very Unforgettable Fire still as a whole, because that was another album that was like, right, this feels very Coca-Cola Football Radio to me in its lyrics, and in that it didn't, although that had, In the Name of Love in it and all of that, but otherwise a lot of songs that weren't really radio friendly,
right.
realistically. Bad maybe, but I feel like it's more of a performance song.
But that's the
yeah,
thing. But there's always a hint of religion
Oh yeah, of course.
in every one of their songs,
Yeah.
if you really listen.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And Where the Streets Have No Name. That was a big, With or Without You. All these songs that became like their big mainstream, there's always a little peppering, a
Of
little
course, yeah.
hint of religion
Mhm.
in there. And some people like retract on that aspect and they like the political side, and then you'll find like vice versa. There are people that are just like, oh, why are they gotta, because a
Yeah.
lot of the shit that they got for the last EP is too political. Hello, have
Yeah.
you just met them? So
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? Like for me, I think this album is going to be, this EP is going to be something that I sit with, and I'm really, it's making me feel good.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time. I always say, and when we met The Edge, and I told him this, and I got to tell him this, their music saved me. I had a rough time in high school, and there was like a little bout where I was being really bullied, and I was not in a good place. And I'd been a huge U2 fan since I'm a kid, and Achtung Baby came out, and that album just did something. It refreshed my whole meaning of life.
Mhm.
And it sounds very extreme,
No.
but if it wasn't for U2, I think when I was younger, I would not have felt this air of rebirth, importance,
Mhm.
and just feeling like there's hope. There's something there.
Yeah.
And it really just made me feel like, all right, I'm going to keep going, because sophomore year of high school was horrible.
Yeah.
And when that album came out, it just, I would sit and listen to it on repeat, and it just filled me.
Yeah. Well, that's the power of music in
That's
general,
the power
right?
of
I
music
love
in
that.
general. And there's
So-
and I think they're really good at,
There's definitely a bigger thing with their music. There's like an
but so many,
uplifting and
yes, but there's so many people
spiritual,
that do
yeah.
not appreciate them now. There's so many people
Yeah.
that still hate them. I don't understand the hate in your heart for U2. I don't get it. Maybe you don't like Bono as a person because he's so
Whatever.
terrible.
Yeah.
He's not on the Epstein list, idiots. Anyway,
Ooh, okay, now that's definitely going to get commented.
go ahead.
So that's our thoughts. I was going to say this. Whatever it is, both of these get me really excited for what a full album is going to be.
Right. For what's to
And
come.
what that's going to be, right?
Right.
Because these are songs that are not on the album, right?
Right.
And so it's not going to be these. So what is it going to be? And I'm
I
always
cannot
here
wait.
for. And like, look, a lot of people may disagree with this, but I would say one of my most favorite albums. I love when they go experimental. Like I loved No Line on the Horizon.
Mm.
Love it. First half I think is very strong. There's a couple clunkers in there, but also then it gets really strong again. I love that album. And although that would not be one that would be a commercial success and not have, it probably has more.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm fucking
Same with- I
tired
know,
of the
I know,
commercial
but
success shit.
also the
they
same,
have
like-
more money than freaking God.
I know there are.
They can do whatever they want to do, what fulfills them, what makes them feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
I'm just saying,
I don't want
I don't-
it to
I
be
don't care either.
commercial.
But they do. That's the interesting part of it because
Well,
they
this is
want
the
their
industry.
no, it's more about they want their music. They view it as they want their music to be heard by as many people as possible. And so when that doesn't reach the masses, they get upset about it. Also, I mean,
Is
like,
that what they told you?
that's what they told
when
me.
you talked to them the last time?
Yes, it is exactly.
When you FaceTime them?
When you were snotting on the edge, he was saying to me, what we
Yeah.
really think.
Yeah.
So, and also it's like pop, right? Like I think pop. I actually think
I
pop.
loved pop,
I
though.
wish they would
had
do
no
something
problem
with
with
pop.
it, but I'm biased.
Because I think that is some of the best of.
Yeah.
When I talk about like Edge doing things, like that album has so
Bro,
many Edge things.
that
going on.
concert, when they came out of the Disco Ball
know.
Lemon shit,
I know.
I was like,
I know.
this is amazing.
I know. I love
and
it,
everybody's
but-
like, oh, they sold out. Shut the fuck up.
That album, I think, stands like if you put that album out today, it would do better than it did then.
Probably.
I think. But anyway,
They're always underappreciated.
those are our thoughts.
And you still, and I'm waiting for the idiots that'll be like, they put their music on for free on my
Oh God,
my
that's the worst.
iPhone.
The worst
Idiots.
thing ever. Anyway,
You're an idiot.
with that note, remember this, friends. Life is a group project. Be kind to each other. Idiots. No.
Idiots. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Welcome back, Jesus.
We got the right stuff. We